Okay, we are ready to go through the results section of our save search where we'll select which columns of data we want to be included in the report. So we'll scroll down to the column section and you can see all the fields that we've had in our save search. Many of these are pretty self-explanatory. The first one I want to point out is this formula field where we're pulling in the name on both the header level data and the line level data. So if you run the default name is a header level field. So for vendor bills and customer invoices, for example, the customer name is only going to show up on the accounts receivable line, not the individual item lines, which can be pretty frustrating from a data perspective if you need to look at this search in Excel. I mean, we really want to include that name on all the lines. And so this is a formula that I've got in the comment section below that you can copy and paste into your transaction save search and have that name populate on all lines of the transaction, which is really, really helpful. I highly recommend adding this. So the way you would do that is you would select formula text in the field. You can copy and paste this formula into the formula column here, and then you can add a custom label called name. Another trick with the formula is you can see on the account, right? I've got to pull in the account internal ID. I've got account in the brackets, and then I've got .id. So any field, if you know kind of the back end name, and you put a .id in front after it, then it'll always display the internal ID of that record type. And again, I've got the custom label here for account ID. Another concept I want to explain is kind of this related field record that you can see here, the department by the colon. If you click on this drop down, right, you can see you've got all kinds of fields that are available. It's a pretty overwhelming list. But if you get almost to the bottom, you start to see that there's some fields that have these 3 dots at the end. And these are related record fields, right? So right now we're using a transaction save search. But if we wanted to pull in the account type, which is really based on the account record, we can click into this account fields, click our drop down, and then we would click account type. And now we're bringing in the account type into our transaction save search, right? And so it's a really powerful concept within NetSuite save searches that gives you access to a lot more data. So an example might be, let's say we want to bring in the state that our vendor is based in. So what we can do, right, is we would scroll all the way down to the bottom. We click vendor fields. And then in here, we'd go down to state. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Then you can click add, and let's add vendor state. Click OK, and then you can click and drag and move that up to the name. And now when we run the save search, the vendor state's going to populate. So this concept can get pretty powerful, and you can add all kinds of data in the transaction save search. Another item I want to point out is the amount field. So right now we've got the amount debit and amount credit, which is based at the top level entity's currency, which in most cases will probably be US dollar. But there's other amounts that are available. So we've got just amount, which is a net amount. We've got the debit and the credit, but we also can get the debit and the credit in the foreign currency. Get the net amount in the foreign currency, and then we've got some other options like gross, net of tax, all kinds of different options to play with. And one that I like is this amount remaining. So this could be really helpful if you've got if you're trying to create some kind of AP or AR subledger with a transaction save search. amount remaining is going to be the amount that has been paid. So like if you've partially paid a vendor bill and there's still $50 remaining, then it's going to show the $50 instead of the total $100. And there's also this true false for amount remaining is above zero. So then you can exclude transactions that have been fully paid. Again, I encourage you to explore the different field types and see what's available. In the next class, I'm going to show you the summary type and how you can use the summary type to add even more power to your saved search. So we'll talk about that in the next class. I'll see you there.